Is that you, Santa Claus? Gifts I'm preparing for some Christmas sharing. Hang in my stocking, I can hear a knocking. Is that you, Santa Claus in the Philippines?
Sure, it's dark out, ain't the slightest spark out.
Avoid that traffic and those barking dogs. Who's there? Who is it stopping for a visit? Is that you, Santa Claus?
Is that you, Santa Claus? Yes, hang in the stocking, I can hear a knocking. Is that you, Santa Claus? Now stop teasing, 'cause I know you're there. Like a girl on a red street, I can see your feet.
Is that you, Santa Claus? Gifts I'm preparing for some Christmas sharing. Hang in my stocking, I can hear a knocking. Is that you, Santa Claus in the Philippines? One peek and I'll try there. Oh, oh, there's an eye there. Is that you, Santa Claus?
Please, please, pity my knees. Say that's you, Santa Claus. Avoid Red Street and Heidi and George, of course. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
That's kind of creepy. Hi, good morning. Good morning.
Morning, guys. How you guys doing today?
What is going on? I think we don't.
What's that?
I don't know, but
That's Geo, by the way. Yeah.
yeah.
Hi, Geo. How you doing? No, that's the cat, Geo.
Hey, Sarah.
Yeah, he's very verbal.
In the
Hey, Sarah.
house. Good morning, guys. Today we're going to cover the subject of just don't be shocked when you guys come to the Philippines. So basically, it's basically just talking about the different things here in the Philippines that are probably most complained about, or don't be shocked when it happens, and even more so, it's happening more and more. And today for us is 9/11, so it's kind of a memorial situation. And then I will jump straight to the point right now of what's going on in the U.S. There was another senseless act of violence, and it doesn't, matter whether they're Republican, Democrat, Independents, they're still people. And I had a discussion with our daughter this morning, and basically, it's just a disturbed person. Political color and all that doesn't play any part, but everybody wants to push those agendas. That, like right now, there was I believe they're claiming the girl's Ukrainian that was attacked on the train, and then they tried to say it was color and why people wouldn't help and all that. It's just senseless, and so that's where it is. And so our hearts go out to the families. Charlie Kirk of Turning Point Action was shot in broad daylight at the podium. Yes, very sad at Utah campus. He was 31. Yes, 2 children. Yeah, he did some political debating, and he was, I guess, on the conservative side, and he would debate people, and it was conversations. And when conversations turn into violence because they don't like what someone said, it's sad. And we've kind of experienced that because when we've been in public because of the things I say, or if I say whatever, then we've been approached on that, but people have kept it decent. But then there are others that don't, and then they try to come over to our house, or they fly drones over our house to give us a hard time based on us of who we are or what we say. And it's sad in this day and age that people actually get like that. So it's, nowhere in comparison, but we have experienced, where people, based on what they don't like that we're saying, that they think they can say, hey, we're coming over there, or if we see you, and it's like, it's not worth it to get down to that point. So very, very, very senseless. Yeah, how's your friend?
He's escaped. He's upstairs now. Oh, well. Okay, well, there's an old saying. Well, first off, like I said, there's an old saying, tit for tat. Um, or, eye for an eye. First off, there's also the other saying that if you believe in eye for an eye, then the world would go blind. No. And first
That's a
off,
good one.
that alone tells you that one, it's never an answer. It's never an answer. Whether or not they did something to you, vengeance is never an answer, and that's the bottom line. And to make it worse, is nothing on this earth, whatever comes out of their mouth, is worthy of taking their life. And that doesn't matter what your beliefs are, what your sexuality is, what
Now,
your,
defending yourself is one thing, or if them guys would have got up on that subway and grabbed that guy and smacked the crap out of him, that'd have been another in defending. But just based on saying, hey, you bitch, is not calling for somebody, for where people have turned that into an actual
yeah, defense within
violence.
reason. For
I mean, I'm all about
example,
bitch slapping.
like it's kind of like this. Like I said, like for instance, my friend, you know, when somebody jumped him with a gun, he snatched the gun from the assailant's um hand,
Okay, Robert.
and he beat him with it. Now, what I'm getting at is, guess who got in trouble? My friend did, because the moment he snatched the weapon out of the assailant's hands, he's unarmed, and basically he essentially attacked the other guy, even though he's, the assailant. My friend became the assailant now because he's the one who's armed, and the former assailant, isn't armed anymore. So that's what I mean. I mean, in if you analyze that story,
Glasses.
he had every right to do it. But there's a reason why laws are in place, is because basically what they're saying is, although I don't agree with it, is if somebody's unarmed, you're not supposed to attack them with a weapon. And obviously, in this case, the guy is defenseless, and not to mention it was a cowardly attack because it was it
And
was
a
a snipe.
college campus, yeah.
It was a snipe. It wasn't even a fair fight. And
Allegedly, I don't have full details.
well, I
But one
mean,
station said
it's not an alleged as far as fair fight or not. I mean,
I'm talking about how it was
the
done.
the guy had no weapon and he had no clue he was being attacked. So that's what I was getting at. But point being, again, there's nothing in this world that deserves a life taken away because of words.
Good morning, Raymond. Hope everybody is safe and well. Hey, Sarah is in the
Hey, Sarah, how you
house.
doing?
Good morning. Good morning. Sarah saying hello to the roomies. Good morning. Gio is on the go. Gio is in
Hey,
the
Gio, how you
house.
doing?
What's going on? Second wind is in the house.
Oh, speaking of which, my brother gave me glasses yesterday. These are real. Have you, have you heard of these?
Yeah, no,
No.
no.
Oh, I don't have to show them.
Yeah, go ahead.
I thought they were interesting because they're real. I mean,
Yeah. Well, before we get into the full topic,
yeah, that's
it's
what I was getting at.
probably.
Yeah. Now this is
But I mean,
okay. Well, anyway, he gave me these glasses, and if I just thought they were interesting because if you look, there's no lens. Those aren't lenses. These are
there.
called pinholes.
Yeah, there's a lot of holes in it.
Yeah. Here, try 'em.
No, I'm sure you can see out of it. Yeah.
No, that's not it. I can read those from this distance.
Hmm.
I can read the tablet from this distance.
So.
Because the reason why what made my brother give me the glasses is because he noticed I had glasses and he's like, "You wear glasses?" I said, "Yeah,
Them would mess with me.
my entire family wears glasses." And then so he gave me these. These are glasses, but they're not glasses. There's no lens.
It's because it makes you refocus. It's kind of like when they put
Correct.
the thing. It's
Correct.
the same.
I mean, yeah. Basically, it
Got a lot of
your
pinholes.
eye it trains your eyes to focus, and but it's just mind blowing. They're called pinhole glasses.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
never seen those before.
Yeah.
Never seen. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I wore them all day yesterday.
Good morning. Hey, PH Antics fans. Morning,
Hey,
Heidi
Robert.
and George. To
A second win.
everybody.
Thank you.
Black a spot. Good morning. Good morning. Slick Rick is in the house. George and Heidi. Why not? We are shocked that you're not wearing wigs. Well, if you've watched us long term, I don't wear them all the time. It's not, and I believe it was less than 2 days ago. It wasn't it just the previous. I didn't wear one the last one, but wore one. It's been within the week, so
Yeah, no.
one. It's still hot here in the Philippines, and it's just a matter of topics and what we're doing or mood or whatever. So yeah. Fan Antics. AI Coconut is in the house. Okay, well, according to Robert, it's the fact that Charlie Kirk, he was on the live because it didn't align with his views. It still shouldn't be based on that. This is getting ridiculous. People are getting petty. People are getting absolutely petty because if that is that's not what it is. It cannot come down to, okay, this person didn't agree on this and that, so let me just do them in. No, that person that did it is got mental issues. It's a personal problem within that person, not because their views didn't align. If somebody is off the rocker that doesn't, that's what's going on in America right now. They're just being led all over the place. Republicans against Democrats, against this, against colors, and now all these other factions are being brought in and all these old systems. In my opinion, the country just went back by 50 years. So everything that was brought forward is just disappearing, and now everybody's turning on everybody like it was 1940 or something, or it just doesn't make any sense anymore. And it shouldn't be based on not aligning with views. It was just a nutball that did it, period. And so I've heard everything. I keep hearing people also say that the guy shouldn't have been out there doing it anyways. He's stirring the pot. He's in social media. He's on podcasts. I would disagree with that too. But on the other breath, I would say he had to know what he was getting into. He had to, with all the views that he pushed on abortion and every topic that he discussed at some point, he could not have been innocent to think that at some point after seeing what goes on, that somebody was. I'm sure he was receiving threats all the time. I'm sure the trolls were contacting him. We're on a small level and we have 3 or 4 of them contact us a week making threats.
Well,
So a guy of that magnitude at 4 million subscribers, you don't think that there wasn't people approaching him in public when he's at dinner or whatever. It's never, it was, I'm sure, close in his mind, but it's a thing where he didn't deserve it. It's wrong.
yeah. No, he doesn't deserve it. However, just to be clear, okay, again, hashtag cancel George.
Yeah,
Um,
you're more than welcome to come on over.
the the thing is, huh?
It's a joke. Yeah.
Oh,
Robert said he'd come over for donuts. I said,
all
come
right.
on by.
So, okay, so again, this gentleman, okay, first off, I'm pretty sure he's way smarter than I am. Okay, hands down, I guarantee you, he's way smarter than I am. And I'll tell you what, I can see things a mile away. I'll tell things before things even happen. I tell Heidi. I only tell Heidi because again, I'm not that kind of guy. And you know what I'm saying is, he saw this coming, and I'm not saying he deserves it. What I'm saying is, he knew the position he was in.
He knew when the president was attacked and as a backer that there's a possibility of public speaking and something happening. The guy wasn't.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The point being is, I'm pretty
But he
sure
believed
he
in
can
his
see
beliefs, which is
he can
also
see
right.
all angles. Yes, and he knew what he was getting into. I'm not saying he deserved it. All I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, if I were him, I'd be like, I would have been telling, and I wouldn't be surprised if he did tell his family. Just so you know, one of these days, they're just gonna off me.
Just
Y-
like
y-
Martin Luther
y-
King, I'm
y-
sure he's
You
seen
know what
that
I'm saying?
coming. It's
Yeah,
something that, and knowing that it doesn't make it right, but he also knew the
right. I'm
risk
not
of,
saying, yeah, I'm not saying
so
he
just looking
deserves
at
it.
both
I'm just
sides of the
saying that
coin. Yeah,
he
both
knew
sides of
what
the
he was
coin.
doing, and
It was a risk, it was a
yeah,
danger,
he, I,
and it's sad.
right. And if for those of you who say that I'm pretty sure he never thought about that, and then I'll be like, well, you know what? That's super naive for somebody. Technically, this guy's a politician. I highly doubt that. I'm pretty sure it crosses his mind every freaking day. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, again, I'm not saying. But point being is, he knew. It's kind of like a cop. A cop still puts on his pants. One leg at a time every day, and then goes out there, and he knows that one day he's not gonna make it home.
Yeah.
You know.
The world is in the dumpster. Yeah, the world needs a reset. Well, it's coming. I predict civil war is what I predict. At the rate they're going, the way the raids are going, the way certain states are one way and the other, and the racism and the violence, and now people turning on each other. They are inciting on all stations, all podcasts, and everything, inciting, Republicans, Democrats, blacks, whites, Hispanics, and foreigners. It's just getting ridiculous. Drug addicts. It's just everybody is about being seen in this day and age. Everything is on social media. People were not meant to see 1,000 problems in one day, so they're getting riled up. People's mental health is going down the gutter by the moment, and it's splitting families, it's dividing families politically, it's dividing them by color, where they're from, and it's just getting crazier by the
Right.
moment.
And a, a world war isn't a reset button. I mean, put it this way. think think of it this way. Let's say World War II, okay? You can't classify World War II as a reset button because the reset button is a reset button for the victors. So since the Soviets and Britain and the US won, they pretty much dominated the world at that point in time. Okay. So what I'm saying is, if let's say Germany won and Japan won during World War II, then they would dominate the world at that point in time. So what I'm saying is, so you can't say it's a reset button. A reset button means everybody's on an even playing field, but it's not. A world war just resets buttons on the victor, nobody else.
Yeah. No surprise, but thank you. I thought she was gone because she made a fair announcement when she took over her husband's channel. and all the simps came in. She clearly went out and got some money and went out and bought a bunch of shit, and then she announced, please don't approach me in public, and I don't want to do social media, and I won't be putting my kid on social media. And she's back. There she is 3 months later, 3 days ago, took a break and reset my life. No, you ran out of money, or you're bored, or whatever it is, maybe all the above, but the simp money will come in, sweetie. Don't worry about it. So reset yourself. And for all the trolls and all the crappy people that made their statements about all that, can just bite me again. I knew she'd be back. I could have bet my life on that. Could have bet my life on that. She set her own traction at that point. She really did. George got some spy glasses so he could check out the babes. Yeah, that's what that reminds me of. Oh my God, that's what those are. Back in the day when they sold them in the back of the Playboy magazines, they used to have holes in it and it was x-ray vision. That's because it makes everything bigger, because they claim that you could see through things. No, it brought the
No,
boobs and butt
like
up.
again,
That is them.
no lens. It's solid plastic.
Right, but that's what they showed
no,
they were
it's
good for.
crystal
It
clear.
brings but it brings everything up closer. So I guess it wasn't really X-ray vision; it was size of vision.
In fact, I can read better with these than the other glasses.
I think them are going to cause a headache long term.
Actually, no, I wore them all day.
A few minutes of that on, they bothered me. So
No,
can't-
no. Okay, what it is, it's, for example, you can't use these to drive
Tony.
because you lose your peripheral vision. You can't use these to game because it's slow. What I'm saying is, do they work? Yes, you can. Your eyes do focus well. However, they don't focus when your eyes are constantly moving. If that makes any sense.
Okay, so yes, Kirk stated he was getting the threats every day. If it was me, I would have had. I was wondering about that too.
Well, here's the thing. He does get death threats, but I'm pretty sure he knows which ones are real and which ones aren't.
Here's the thing. Is it even really worth it in social media? Why? Because it was his entire living. He wasn't Martin Luther King. He wasn't somebody standing up for. He wasn't really changing the world with his views. He was just another social media.
No, it's his living.
I get it, but was it worth it?
To him, it was.
I guess it was.
Okay, first off,
get offended all you guys want, but to me, it wouldn't have been worth it.
Two things. One, it's his own belief, which is in doesn't matter what you believe in, whether sugar
I guess you don't let anybody
is the
dictate
savior
what
of the
you're going
world.
to do.
You'll
People
die
told
for
us
sugar.
to quit. Right? Yeah, people
But-
told us to quit,
but
I
second-
get it.
Second,
Not at that level.
I'm pretty sure he gets most of his money from his supporters that support him from his views. And this is a fact, especially
no, if they could
politically
shoot one, they could shoot
aligned
the other.
people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So no, I'm again, like I said,
I still don't think at some point that large, and what he did is a whole different level of what we cover on basic social media.
but we're not the same. We're not even this.
Crowds.
We're not the same league, and we're not in the same.
That's what I'm saying.
boat.
It's a different thing. But I
No,
don't know.
no. But again, like I said,
Good
he knows
morning.
what he knows his job, and he died for it, and that's basically what he believed in.
Thinking of what just happened in Qatar. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I'm not even going to repeat that. We're already tipping into full load political, and we've been trying to keep that off this channel because there are too many different beliefs, too many crazy different things, and really, I don't want to. Yeah, Jen needs her Sims back. I'm sorry, I don't think it's boredom. She's got a baby. There's no way she's bored. I'd be looking for sleep. I'm sorry. I mean, like for me, with us being retired, we do not have Sims, and so it's not. We do not have where the money is rolling in. Whatever. As a matter of fact, I just seen one of those girls, one of Barbie's friends or whatever, there on the island. She literally made the statement, "Oh, don't worry, she's already got a bunch of contributors sending her money every month." And I was like, she just flat out mentioned that in her live stream. She said, "Yeah, she's already got enough guys that are sending her money." And I'm like, not Jen, some other girl that was a single mother that appeared. There was a girl that did an interview with her friend that she was left by one of her expat boyfriends. I can't even think of the channel's name. It came up in the feed. But this had happened like a year ago, but she now just interviewed, and she's a single mother, and she's found tons of people that are now just sending her monthly money to live on. She's like, yeah, she doesn't need any more money. And I'm like, okay. But I believe that's probably what's going on. It's not because she's bored or she has to put out information or it's just what she does. No, she knows where she's going on that. It is what it is. Good morning, all. You're eating papaya. Good morning. Oh, Raymond likes your thumbnail. Yeah, I put George on the bench there with the old dude. That's an old photo. I believe in Santa Claus. Yeah. Yeah, I like that's where you have to determine it. I don't think so. That's where I'm at on that, and I'm not saying it's right. He's just saying Kirk was it worth losing his life. That's what I'm saying. He might have thought so. That's just it. If I thought that it was changing where single mothers were going to get partial housing for the next 4 years and it was going to make the true difference. No, he just debated with college students and people and riled people up. It doesn't matter any way you look at it. It was his living and he's seen it. But I also believe and see the other side of the coin. Don't let nobody tell you what the hell you should do or say. That's another thing. A partial, you got your freedom of speech or what we used to have, no matter what country you're in. But you kind of get the point that still at some point you have to balance, man, my kids aren't going to have a father. He had to know. The moment that crap happened to Trump, he had to know. So at that point, I'd have been out and I'd
Like I
just been
said,
doing
he
regular
knew.
podcast appearances on different
He
subjects
knew.
and stayed out of public.
I mean,
It's
those of you
it
again who
is what it is.
disagree, I hate to tell you this. He's into that politics thing.
Yeah,
You know.
you have to believe in something or you'll fall for anything. I think everybody's falling for everything right now. I think they're drinking the Kool-Aid in America. And America is just looking really bad right now. It looks really, really bad. And then something like this to me, and what I've seen also, which is ridiculous, is they're saying this is a distraction for the Epstein files. That's now out there. This is all a staging of, I'm like, oh, holy crap, here we go. So, I mean, it would kind of make sense. People are saying that. Why not? They're making money. That's what me and George is saying. You can't believe in social media. You can't believe in AI. You can't believe in half of what you hear, and people will run with the littlest thing. So now they're saying what happened to him as of this morning, which just was announced that he passed away, and they possibly have a suspect. They're already saying this is a cover up for the Epstein file. I'm like, oh, holy crap, here we go. So content, 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 content.
Well, I mean, they have to cover up the Epstein file. If not, then the Anunnaki will get exposed. And therefore, once the Anunnaki gets exposed, the entrance to the center of the earth and the lizard people will come out and take over the world. So this is all for our own good.
You mean I get to see my mama again?
Correct.
Oh, mama.
Hmm.
Oh, mom, please come home and bring me some of them salted dino eggs.
Yep.
That I love so
It's
much.
the coming of Jeebus.
Jeebus, Jeebus.
Yes.
Jeepers, creepers. Where'd you get those Jeebers? Jeebers, Jeebers. Can I have donuts today? Someone bring donuts. Don't worry about some. We already got chicken here, so we don't need none of that to throw on the grill.
Right. Oh, hey, Scott. How you doing, man?
Oh, Robert wants to change stuff. Yeah, we were about ready to. Yeah, we went through George down the
yeah,
stairs.
no. Wait, what?
I mean, Jeepers. Order those donuts. Wonder how long it would take to get donuts. Anybody want to take a guess?
I'm coming, Dad. I'm coming.
I'm coming to join you, Pops. I'm coming to join you.
Right.
Bum, 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 bum. Listen, about the only person that's safe in America right now is me.
What?
Yeah, my DNA from Ancestry says I'm mostly European. All European, pretty much. And French. I'm about as white as they get. I'm from the Caucasus Mountains of Caucasus. I am the
Caucasus.
Icelandic. I'm the only safe one, is a white woman that always keeps her trap shut. They said, there's that loud woman in that Walmart. Say, yeah, just leave her alone. We ain't gonna try to bother wrestling her. See, I wish those bitches would try to take me and put me in the back of a van. I would teach them a lesson. See, they ain't gonna mess with me. See, if you have that attitude, they're not. But they're gonna take George. I'm gonna tell you that right now, George.
What?
They're gonna take you. Say,
Why would they take me?
because he's Korean,
Right?
Mexican, Colombian, maybe all the above. But you're brown. You're middle class brown. They're gonna get you.
What?
You better start wearing a business. You better tell your family start putting on business suits and stuff because they ain't gonna mess with you if you're wearing a business suit and a couple gold chains.
Shoot, if I were in the U.S. right now, they would raid my house. Just say, imagine 8 o'clock in the morning, they would raid and scoop up everybody. Yeah, exactly.
Jen, it would be Mark Thornton's widow, where Mark Thornton, we covered him last year, AI, in regards to he got into a fight and beat the crap out of a guy based on social media stuff going back and forth. And they had a yelling match inside of the restaurant. He said, let's go outside. By the time the guy held the door open, he drop kicked him and beat the crap out of him. We said, hey, there was no sense in that. He admitted it. He did content. He showed off about it. He had a baby with a younger woman, about 40 something years younger. I'm just going by the top of my head.
Year, right?
I think it just passed away in December, right? This past December. So
Oh,
in December
almost
it'll be a year. And he had a channel. She had a channel. She slowed down on her channel. It was mostly, hey, date a younger woman, but he didn't want kids. She convinced him to have the kid. He had the kid. He went into debt with a car and all this stuff, but had major mental problems and heart problems. And he came here to the Philippines with little to nothing. In the end, he ended up having a heart attack. He slowed down on his medication. A few months later, he died. He felt that he was feeling better, and he passed away.
Never cut down on your maintenance ever.
So we pretty much just called him a dumbass and just covered expat shit. And then it kind of became a battle with a couple other channels where it was like, oh, you're just talking shit. It's like, he screwed up. I mean, in multiple ways. So we're going to cover him.
And don't take Chinese TRT.
And he was on the hormone therapy on top of it. But either way, now he's got a baby that was only a couple months old when he passed away, or 6 months old, give or take. I think it was somewhere between 3 to 6 months when he passed away. She took over his channel for a short period, got some money, had other channels help her with the funeral, paid for the funeral. She tried to bark up on us. It was a big thing going back and forth for a while.
Don't invest on Beanie Baby.
Don't invest on Beanie Baby. So it was an interesting story. So we
guys, take a notepad.
And now here she is. She's back. Widow Thornton. As a matter of fact, less than 30 days later, she's out dancing with her friends, showing herself at New Year's parties. And I get it. I mean, you ain't supposed to sit around sad. I mean, I'm going to be out there sucking mine and getting mine. I mean, on shrimps when George passed away. I mean, and dating other Asians and all that. I'm going to get my freak on as soon as George falls down those stairs. Don't get me wrong. But no. So she was out. Nothing? No dang, no nothing? Or you just know that's going to happen? Anyways.
I guess I'm still here, so I guess I'm asking for it.
You trying to have a vision of a foursome?
All right. Call me Kirk.
Foursome. And too soon. Yeah, too soon.
Oh, is that what it is?
Too soon.
I meant Captain Kirk. I mean, come on.
Mm-hmm. So, but yeah. So anyways, so after that, she got some private investors. And she quit the channel and said, don't approach me in public, and went all attitude. And now here she back. So, Scott, I can see you today.
Beam me up, Scotty.
Yeah, I couldn't see Scott the other day either. So, I think I went and done some. There was an update for the app. I'm hoping that we will even see our Philippine journey on here today. So I can see you today, Scott, because there you are. Good morning. So I suspect I can't see you today.
Right.
Good morning, Adam.
Oh, Adam's out. Hey, Adam's out. How you doing?
What's going on? And that is so true. Free speech should not get you killed. It shouldn't get you anything. That I agree on. Shouldn't get people, harassed and doxxed. And I don't know where people get the nerve and audacity and social media or whatever, because somebody's talking about this or that, or whatever, or you can't join their live streams or whatever, to say, let me look up your family. At one point they were calling regular guy's mom and announcing he was dead here in the Philippines. That's messed up. Could you imagine calling somebody's mom and looking up numbers? And by the way, real quick, I got to tell George something really quick. So that's how they knew. So, anyways, I was just telling him that somebody had doxed us about a year ago, and they went back several years. This means they spent hours going through our Instagram and Facebook to get the tiniest information, and they were still wrong. They were still so way off, and everything else. It was unreal. For what purpose? And it's not. They could say the same about us. Well, then you guys shouldn't be in social media. But there is a level of expectation that people will follow you in the mall or send things to your house, good or bad, or come to your house, which we've had. And it's just to be expected. That much you can say. So it's not surprising because we're still there. Like there was a couple that do all cooking and they show their lives. It's this plus size couple. I think they're both around 500 pounds that are on TikTok, and they show how they just mukbang, and they're talking about having kids. I don't know how. And they've been showing their lives for years. And they said, they were like shocked that people were showing up at their house, bringing them stuff, or they were like, you had no business trying to figure out where we live. But if you're showing the front of your house and your car's out front and you're doing all this, there is a level of expectation. People can find you, and people will try to have that connection with you no matter how big or small. So maybe with Charlie, maybe these people thought they were going to get a connection. You're talking about a lot of college students. To me, the younger they are like that, maybe a little bit more off the chain. You know what I mean? They're wanting to prove themselves to the world. So they got all riled up and stuff. So it's hard saying, or this just could be some old dude that just
No,
didn't.
I disagree.
You don't think the college students are unstable?
Yes and no.
Ah.
No, 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 no. This is called an agenda.
Uh,
What I'm saying is,
hey, good morning.
I understand that youth and all that kind of stuff, and although I'm pretty sure they'll find some fall guy that will take the thing. This is an agenda. This is a targeted moment. This is not somebody who just happens to be there. No.
You think this is attached to multiple things, as others are starting to discuss? Yeah, you better
All
not.
no, no, no,
Here's
no.
the
All I'm
conspiracy thing.
saying, I highly doubt it's some random college student.
Well,
And
okay, so conspiracy theory, my ass, is what Second Wind said. So, in other words, maybe it's not. Maybe it was planned for, attached to other things. Do you think it's a random person just angry?
that's what I just said. No,
Okay,
because this
so
is planned. That's what I'm saying. This is not. That's why I said it's an agenda. This is not somebody just randomly grabbing his long rifle and just climbing up a building. No,
Robert,
this is somebody who
I climb
planned things
buildings.
out.
I climb buildings.
You know what I mean? Yeah. They knew he was gonna be there,
Damn
and
lizard
again,
people.
now whatever reasons you have, that's up to you to come up with your own conclusions. But this is not some random guy that just like, well, I don't like what he's saying now. Let me just go climb a building. No, that's not how it
Now
works.
we've had people send us food, but these are vetted people that have our address, that send items from Amazon, but Amazon directly has our address.
It's those damn lizard people, exactly.
I need some donuts.
Yeah, blame Admiral Byrd. If
Really?
it wasn't for Admiral Byrd, no, that's a real admiral. But anyway, yeah, if it wasn't for Admiral Byrd, maybe Admiral Byrd's the one that put those lizard people back in their place. But anyway, whatever.
Really? Who knows? We can always get you some cheeseburgers this morning.
Admiral Byrd's admiral in the U.S. Navy during World War II. Just so you know. But anyway. and he allegedly left a diary regarding whatever. But although I believe it was his son that wrote the diary, trying to make money off of it. But anyway,
Check this out.
sweet potato and bacon flaky pie. That's a pie?
It looks like a donut to me.
No, really. Well,
There you go.
screamy cherrylicious fritter.
That's what
Oh
he.
my gosh!
That's what he calls my
Apple
little.
fritters. I miss apple fritters. Oh my gosh.
Well, first you got to buy me an oven and then a gas tank and a lighter,
Oh, screw that.
along with a knife.
The knife is the least of our worries. The oven and the gas and the electricity, forget it.
But screamy cherry licious fritter is what you call my little bits down there that you were munching on. It's Starbucks, guys. Well, I call yours sweet potato and bacon.
Right.
How about this one?
Oh no, that's a big no. You know why? Because it'll never look like that. That
There's a hot chocolate donut. All
whenever
it is,
you
a
see
bunch of
something
pudding.
that looks too perfect on a picture, don't order it. Odds are it's not gonna look like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe we just get some hot dogs. I got to get off these steroids.
Hot
I'm telling you.
dogs. Get your hot dogs.
Salted dino eggs. Yeah. Now you got me. It sucks being on steroids. It really does. It's kind of like Hulk smash and donuts. I fell off the wagon yesterday. Not just here, host funds. I was bringing donuts, but they were too good and I ate them. Yeah. Hey, what's going on, Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs? All right, he caused his own demise. Yeah, not taking the meds for him. Yeah, yeah. And private investors. Yeah, we don't. Sometimes I'm like, I'd like that, but I don't see some of the women take in hundreds of dollars per live stream, just the basic ones, and I'm like, how do they sleep at night? I guess really well. I mean, it's nice when we have supporters and stickers and incoming support, and it's like it's really, really appreciated. But some of them will just sit there during the entire live stream and just they have nothing to say, nothing, and they still are getting paid. You can tell when it's a simping thing and when it's not. Yeah, so they have 1 second chicken honey apple panini. That's even if it is that. Who does pancakes, eggs, little bits of spam, and salad and tomatoes on the side?
Actually, that sounds really good. I don't know about you.
What's with the salad?
I'll take that any day.
Why would you put salad with the scrambled eggs, pancakes, and spam?
Why not?
Because you're weird. Because I'm weird. Because I'm a Filipino. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. Cause I'm a white girl creep living in the
Heidi said it. Heidi said it.
Philippines.
Say.
I'm just a super freak living among these Filipinos, little people who eat weird food. They eat that balut. They eat that stinky durum. It smells like the bottom of their mama's feet. I got to get out of here today, now. Buy me a plane ticket. I'm out of here. Okay. So, anyways. Regular guy and Maya hooked up. That's probably so true. So, haven't heard from regular guy. Condolences for your father.
Thank you, Joseph. Appreciate it, man.
It's really, really. And we do appreciate the incoming condolences. We've been hearing from a lot of people. Let's see. Yeah, it is. It is very sad. Oh no. I had to air tag George to find out where you live.
This is true.
That is a true
That
story.
is true.
That is so true. I know, because George, let me tell you what. That's about the only way you were going to probably get the address is when your luggage was here. And why? Because George is such a private person. I don't even know what goes on in his life. I'm talking about like down to the nitty gritty. You think I'm kidding? I feel like I'm married to the CIA right now. True. Do you tell me anything really? Even if I ask you about dinner in advance, you act like it's some CIA secret thing.
Right.
It's true. So yeah, you have to air tag George. Got to put something on him.
Right.
Oh, I don't know about that. That's going a little political, and I don't know. It said Charlie Kirk played a significant and influential role in getting Donald Trump secured for his victory. It was his doing. No, I wouldn't say that. I get that he might have rallied, and even then, I didn't watch the guy that much. He would come up in our feed every now and then. I listened a few times. It just was too much debating about different things, so I didn't really get into it. But I wouldn't say one person was the reason that he did. There was a lot of people pushing for him, but I think the moment he was attacked, that just put it into place for everybody that this is the guy that, and especially the way the Democrat Party was going downhill quick situation. But, with all the stuff going on and the sickness of the previous president, and I think it just secured him in history. It made him immortal in front of people. So I would say that's why he got in, is people seeing him as a different, survivor, and there's a lot of reasons, but I don't think it was contributed to just Charlie Kirk. That's my opinion. Do you think it was down to the one young kid that got him into? I mean, there were people like, what is the podcast guy that I always talk
Okay,
about
so
when he did nothing but push?
the reality is, again, regardless of what you believe, again, hashtag cancel George. What really drove Trump to becoming president? I'm sorry,
Good morning.
Kirk. Again, nothing against you, Kirk. Is because he
Oh, dang.
was shot during in one of his campaigns,
Oh, snap.
and
He
that
always.
martyred him, and therefore that's what propelled him. Not okay. Kirk helped, yes,
Yeah, there were a lot of people
but
that equally
there's a difference between
promoted.
a push and a catapult. That was a catapult as far as what happened to Trump. Kirk push. There's two. Those are two different things. Again, now let's say the shot never happened, then Kirk probably had a bigger push than most. Yes.
Yeah. Truth serum, death is part of my life. Condolences, George. Yeah, that's very sad.
Oh,
Maybe he meant as part of life. Yeah, death is
yeah.
part of life.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Truth Serum.
Yeah. Yeah, the Biden and Harris ticket, it was really going downhill. And so there was a
Oh,
lot. It was just looking really bad at that point. And then
yeah.
what is the name of the podcaster I always talk about? The big one who's I
That could
can't
be anybody.
he was the one, I can't even think of his
All right.
name, but there's a lot of big
So,
ones that
okay.
were pushing for.
Now, just real quick again. Me and Heidi were talking about my dad earlier, and I'm gonna ask you guys to pay attention to your family members and analyze things and give them attention. And what I'm saying is one, you only have one life. Two, they could be doing something that's detrimental to their health. I'm not talking about they're doing something wrong. It's not that. It's for instance that kind of like Mark. Okay, I'm just giving an example here that if you know a family member is not taking their meds like Mark did, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Joe Rogan. That's who
Yeah.
it was. That was really a big. I think he's got 3-4 times more people than that kid did, and he really pushed for him. And so did that other pod. There's several podcasts that really probably catapulted him. So sorry.
Yeah. So again, if you know a family member who isn't taking their maintenance, all that kind of stuff. I know it's something so simple, but get involved. It may save their lives.
Mhm.
Kind of like with Mark. He
Yeah, he needed somebody to say, "Hey, take those meds," and blah blah blah. The fact he cut out on him in the end was probably his
right,
doing
and
him.
then
So
TRT is not an answer that actually makes things worse.
yeah,
You
it's
know, so
Black Grandpa. I will agree. Before we change this subject, that shot, the one shot sniper that got him had to be military. So that's probably why people are forming the opinion that this is a cover up for Epstein and what's going on in the White House. So it's and it will probably only continue to spiral from all sides, from the independents, from the Democrats, from the Republican, and so it's sad, but unfortunately, yes, that took somebody like they said the first time that did it. So it's kind of
well, you have to
yeah.
remember that this goes both ways.
What's that?
What I'm saying, whatever happened to Kirk, it can swing both ways.
Oh yeah. Well,
And
then
what I'm saying is, one one side of the party could claim, "Oh, it happened because of this," and the other side of the party would say, "Oh, it happened because of this." So what I'm saying is, you can't really point fingers on who, how, what, when, where, why it happened.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because we really don't know.
yeah. All right, guys. So we will get into the pretty much don't be shocked or whatever. We're going to talk about things that I'm absolutely surprised when people get here and they're claiming they just didn't know or never been here or they watch other channels that never talk about it. So we're just going to be going through a list of things and like a discussion between me, George, and you guys in regards to just things in general that will possibly shock you. And there's a big percentage. Let's start with incomes. Okay. A lot of people just don't get it till they get here to understand that people here work really hard for their money. It's not that they don't put in the effort and time. An average salary, and that's even if they are making it, is about 18,000 pesos a month, 15, 18, 20,000 pesos. And when they do make this 4, 5, 600 pesos a day, they're still spending hours on a jeepney to get home, and they work really hard, and they still have families and expenses and all of that. And it just blows your mind all the way around. We've been talking, or I've been talking about, I can't believe the amount of money you'll see people spend. It's because they borrow money or they have multiple people living in their families. But the value for the money, the amount of money you can be paid for a job, and the real shocking thing is like qualifications for jobs. Somebody showed where you can get a job in Singapore and it'll ask for this, and that, and a degree. Here they'll ask for a degree, 3 different types of IDs, your birth certificates, a clearance, and there's like a list of things that are almost impossible for a Filipino to get a job, let alone these dumbass expats that come here and think they're going to get a job. So then they just open up a business and make their wives run the places. So it is shocking, but people are like, oh, well, I didn't know. No, they cannot make money. There are not jobs. When people tell you there are no jobs, they still don't believe it, and they come here thinking they can get a job. But not everybody is rich here. There's only a percentage of people, including expats, that live in that top, what percent? 1%, 2%, 3? What percentage do you think are living in that upper bracket?
It's always a 1%.
Okay. And that includes the expats that do the right thing and have multiple sources of income and savings and insurance. Um, and so that is the first thing I'd like to say is very shocking. You will get used to it. You will adjust. You'll become numb and accustomed to, the poverty levels and but I think until you're actually here and live here and not on vacation. We're not talking about vacation where you guys are coming here and living part time or here for a week or two. We're talking long term. So check out Pigsy, babe. She's over there nursing on the blanket.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Now, for those of you again wondering what the 1% is, As far as wealth distribution goes, 1% covers the actual rich people, and that's what I meant by 1%. Because some of you will say, "Oh no, it's more than that." Yeah, no, I'm talking the 1%. Now, how do you know if you're 1%? If you don't have cryptocurrency investments right now, you're not one of the 1%. Just saying. But anyway, so then you're probably on the 2%. You're okay. You have money, you have a car, you have a condo, you have a, that kind of deal. Then you're one of the 2%. But you know, I'm just saying, it's not everybody, and that's why, again, one of the reasons why we started this channel, or rather, veered the channel this way, because really, we started this channel for just me and Heidi. It was really just a documentary
Really,
for
just so we could
us.
fight on air
Right.
in front of the family.
Okay. That's called sarcasm. But anyway, point being is, again, the, you know, we have these. God, I hate it because it's like, again, the blind leading the blind, and I don't mean it in a bad way. What I'm saying is, some of these expat vloggers aren't even in the Philippines, and they tell you false information. And like, oh yeah, you can come over here. You don't need a job. You just come over to the Philippines, then get a job. I'm like, no, you ass. You're leading people to die, literally die.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what conscience do you have?
They
No.
don't. That's the problem with social media. Again, it's been more and more prevalent
Yeah, I
on.
mean, I'm not gonna tell somebody to do something that I personally won't do. You know, it's one thing. Okay, there's a lot of vloggers that fly over here and they vlog, and they're kind of okay, somewhat struggling, whatever, and then they try to tell people, "Hey, come over here in the Philippines. Life is great. It's easy, but at least they're here." You know what I'm saying? But a lot of these, I I see a lot of this trend that a lot of Americans, I say Americans because I've only seen Americans do this, and again, they vlog in the U.S. and say, "Oh, go to the Philippines, do this, do that, do this." I'm like, you ass. We can tell you're not even in the Philippines. I mean, we get questioned why we're not in the Philippines. I mean, are you guys like,
Yeah,
what
we talked about the last time.
what's
It was
wrong
funny.
with you? Watch our channel. I'm Filipino. We have Filipinos, like, sometimes we have like Filipinos come here during our live, or we get interrupted by Filipinos. You know what I mean? I mean, we have Filipinos yelling, walking up and down the street, for crying out loud. But anyway, you guys get the picture.
Yeah. Um. Let's see. What else is shocking? What do you find to be the most shocking thing right now in the Philippines?
What, the Filipinos are still rich?
That seems to be my shocking thing. That kind of comes along.
No, I can't get over that. I can never get over that.
The amount of rich. Yeah, the balance of the rich. We talked about that in the last live stream. It is shocking because it does seem like, for me, 50% that are out there right now are spending way more than we're spending. And we're not the richest and we're not the poorest either. But yet you will see people with households like up the street. The one house is a one house and they have three new cars out there. And I'm like, it kind of just, and we're not in the best neighborhood, and still in the neighborhood, they're actually spending that kind of money. Um, Here's the thing, but it just recently changed. Let's talk about the land leases. That you
Oh,
can't
right.
own houses,
Yeah.
or you can do the condos, you can't own land, but that did just change a few days ago or a week ago. Now the Philippine government has announced that they will be setting a 99-year lease, which technically means that you can now.
Well,
Because, well, here's the thing: if
in
you
your
lease it,
lifetime.
well, probably your wife's and kids, none of them are going to live possibly that 99 years. And
Well,
it
wife, I wouldn't say kids.
possible. It would still set you free for a little bit. It
No,
would
no, no, no,
still
no,
be a
no.
better chance to build on that
I
than to
get it.
trust a girlfriend that's lying to you or that is
No,
taking
I
back
would I
land
would
from
take that
people.
lease before I would, okay. I'm not a pessimist. I'm really not. I'm always an optimist. However, the reality is relationships do falter and fall out. So relying on your Filipino to have everything under their name, trust me, a lot of expats have regretted this decision.
Right. So now it is possible for the 99 years. So technically, in my opinion, it does make it possible to
Yeah, get that
own the
leased.
house.
Yeah.
And now I don't know. I mean, I guess if they do a 99-year lease of the land, I'm assuming it'd be passed down from generation. Same thing with those who are leasing it. How that would work if it's like, let's say we own 1,000 acres, me and you pass away, then who's
Depends
going to
on the
handle the
lease. It
lease?
depends on the
And if
lease.
the other people inherit the land, like in the US right now, I keep hearing landlords, they're passing away and their kids now are charging 2 grand for rent
Well,
where
like
it
I said,
was
depends
800.
depends on the lease, on how it's written. Because the lease varies per situation. What I'm saying is, if you didn't do your due diligence and the lease ends, doesn't say anything about if you're gone, it goes to somebody else.
Yeah, then they give the lease to
Then
your kids, therefore it's not
correct.
losing. Yeah.
Yeah, you again, it depends on the lease. So that's what I was gonna get at too. Is make sure that that lease is bulletproof.
Mhm.
Make sure that if something happens to you, it as long as the lease is being paid, it will go to the next of kin. That kind of stuff. Just don't leave it open ended because the owner can just like, oh, he's gone. Technically, the contract is done. Then think about it, because the
Yeah.
lease is on the signers, and that signer, once they're gone, that contract is null and void.
Yeah. Next, I want to talk about, as we did the other day, some of the medical will shock you. Whether it's a facility that shocks you because of the quality and it looks like a bomb shelter, or it's a high end bougie place, or you go in to get a shingle vaccine from a place and they are charging $200 for it. And I just found out on average it's about $200 without insurance in the US. So some things are charging US prices when it comes down to medical, and then other things are at a major discount. Also, don't be surprised about getting into a hospital and you have to pay up front. It doesn't matter if you have insurance, the best insurance, because unless they're paying them at that moment, they still want large deposits up front no matter what hospital it is. And you could be dealing with, although there are laws in place and a little bit more relaxed the last couple years, you could be held until you sign a promissory note from somebody before they will let you out. Now, people have been known in the past to jump out windows or to sneak out, or it's still a problem in some areas. And don't think, oh, well, the law says this, and that. If you're somewhere down in Mindanao and you're in a hospital, do not expect all those laws to apply. They're liable to tape you to the bed. So, I know I'm exaggerating, but you kind of get the point. Do not expect every law to actually apply, which we'll get to the bureaucracy
Well, there's no
situation.
blanket law in the Philippines. Same way in the U.S.
Yeah.
There's no blanket law
Yeah,
in the
you could be in
U.S.
Alabama and
Yeah,
you just stare at somebody's woman and you get thrown in jail.
right. And I get the federal thing and the state thing, but remember, sometimes that line gets blurred and they don't follow federal. You know what I'm saying? Same thing in the Philippines. It doesn't mean that there are our versions of federal law here, but what I'm saying is, it's, it's all, I always tell Heidi, once you're in a different area, you treat it like a new country. Rules change.
Yeah. Um, and then, of course, will come cost of living has gone up and the quality of living in the Philippines. That is the biggest shock. Most people do the soft landing and they come here first, but some do go to Thailand and other countries and are like, hey, my girlfriend lives in the Philippines. That's where I'm going to stay. And then there's just some absolute disappointment or The bang for the buck and the costs are going up in the Philippines. We're finding more and more people are raising their prices. I've noticed a significant increase from the local sorry stores, the online Lazada, like everything is going up. Where something was 300 pesos is 450, 500, and they're like, okay, well, you should be able to afford it. You're an expat, shouldn't have to. It's still on, Filipinos are still paying the price. And I just seen where somebody mentioned the Nepo babies and the contractors. And then, of course, you've got the crooked people here in the Philippines. That's going to happen. But that's not where these rich people are coming from. These are people in our neighborhood. And this is a damn broke neighborhood. And these people are spending money like, I don't know, they spending it. They are spending money in our neighborhood.
All right. So
Don't put your hands on me because you ain't bought me nothing nice lately.
all right. So here's the thing. Okay. Let me tell you
George spends a lot of
a
money.
real quick story.
It's because George is bougie.
So this is somewhat related to current events. Okay. Based on a true story, I guess, as it were.
Yeah, the high prices don't justify the quality. Yeah, that's where I'm at. And I thought about that real quick. I thought about that the other day when I popped up. I wanted to say something because I'm like, no, that same shit happened to us in the US. If we went in and got a $60 meal, we'd probably say the same thing. That was not worth $60. But unfortunately, here, when you go and spend $60 at Denny's or one of these other places that are American restaurants, the quality to me is like at 25% of the crappy shit in the US. It's beyond silent quitting at some of these other restaurants that are charging American prices. So you'll find the out of stocks, the different things that go on at these restaurants, and it seems like they're not using the best quality of items when they are cooking or putting things together. And that is something that people remember. We're talking about our personal experience, things that others are going through, what we're observing. George returning Filipino, and don't be shocked situation. Just want to fill those in that are jumping in on this.
Yeah.
Go on, Bougie Berry.
Yeah. Okay. So now, like I told Heidi, things are being shaken up because new officials are in and all that. So this is somewhat related to what's going on right now. So a Filipino a Filipino congressman flew over to China and visited his Chinese congressman friend. And he went over there, and the Chinese guy has a nice mansion, had like 12 servants, had like two cars, he had a Bentley in the driveway. And Filipino was like, how can you afford all of this? And then the Chinese congressman says, he points out in the distance, he says, you see that bridge over there? And the Filipino looks like, yeah, what about it? 10% of what funded that bridge went to me. That's what he says.
Oh, snap. Yeah.
Oh, wow, he says.
Well, they've been copying that all
Okay.
over Asia.
So then, a year later, the Chinese congressman flew over to the Philippines and visited his Filipino friend. And he went over there. And then, as he went, as his driver pulled up to the driveway, he had like 6 supercars. He has like, you know, 20, 20 servants. Had a big mansion, has a pool and a helicopter. And the Chinese business congressman was like, "Whoa, you're doing well. How the heck? How the heck you afford all these things?" And then the Filipino guy goes like, "Oh, you see that bridge over there?" And then the Chinese guy like squinted and squinted and squinted, and he's like, "What bridge?" And then the Filipino goes like,
Exactly.
"Exactly."
I knew that was coming. Exactly. As those that have seen in the news here lately, there is a big disruption that a bunch of these bridges and dams and everything, they took most all
Like
of the
I said, this
money.
is based on a true story.
Yeah, they took the money instead of building it. They were just blatant. We're not talking about let me hire some cheaper labor or I'm going to use, green paint that's got a little bit of neon and other stuff in it and cheaping out and then
Hence the
gain the money.
flooding.
No, they literally just got super greedy, and I've heard it time and time again. Get as spended as possible as a Filipino or others that love the country. They are really sneaky here.
To translate it, what levy?
Greedy. There's a level
What
of
flood levy?
deception and greed that is
Hence the
unreal.
flooding.
And now, well, here's my deal on the flooding. It's been going on since the beginning of time. I don't know why they didn't invest sooner in protection. It should have been the top priority when the poor people are being wiped out every time. But it sucks that all the rich people and these Nepo babies are coming up in the feed now on their TikToks and YouTubers and all this stuff that are showing off their wealth. And it turns out the whole time it's a bunch of contractors' kids. Well, it's a bunch of other people too. I'm sure the corruption somewhere down the line comes into paying for things. And you can see it on a daily basis, although it is still a small percentage. It's kind of out there. So there's a lot going on here.
No. I mean, now
which will probably bring us around to the bureaucracy situation going on.
It's
here.
kind of like this, okay?
And nepotism.
I mean, it's you have to analyze things because one, and you can't shotgun things. Meaning, for example, like I know that joke is based on a true story.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is you can't apply that to everything. For example, here's a good example.
Yeah, it's not everybody, but
Right.
it's clear. But there's a lot of Asian countries where there's a lot of this con stuff going on.
Here's an example.
And in America, don't think it don't happen in America and
Right.
Canada either, guys. It's going on.
Part of the barangay budget, for example, this is a good example because this is really hard to get a hold of, literally, and I mean literally. Part of the barangay funding, okay, is supposed to go on medicine. Okay, what do you mean by medicine? Okay, paracetamol or as it in the U.S. Acetaminophen or Aleve, whatever, whether Tylenol, Aleve, that kind of stuff, blood pressure medicine, that kind of stuff. They're supposed to keep a stock. Keyword supposed to. They're supposed to keep a stock in the barangay, okay, in the barangay center. Why? In case of emergency or if somebody's not feeling well and they can't afford any medicine, they go to the barangay and says, "Hey, I don't feel well. Can I have something, to make me feel
Yeah, they're
better?"
supposed to be
So they give it to them.
social programs,
Okay.
the rice,
Right.
the food
So-
when people are needing it.
Now here's the problem. I'm not attacking any particular barangay because first off, I'm pretty sure there's barangays out there that actually do this and actually distribute it. However, they run out because there's not enough money, not enough funding to supply the medicine to supply to the community. So that's the first one that you go to the barangay, there's no medicine because it's already been given away. Two, there's this corrupt barangay official that is selling the medicine. Okay. Three, there's these corrupt barangay official or officials that take the medicine. So
Yeah, there's a lot of cities where they're draining the accounts.
So what I'm saying is, it doesn't mean that it happens on all of them, But point being is,
Well, to be fair, this happens in the U.S. when there's funding in
Right,
different
right.
cities.
You don't know
Except
where
for
it goes.
there, it's a
correct.
little bit more accountable. There might be some big people at the top, all the way up to the White House, that are taking cuts or they're selling extra this or that or doing that. Here, it is very blatant. The money, like to give you an idea, it's in the news. This isn't made up. Mabalacat City, millions of U.S. dollars are missing. All the projects that were to be done here in all different levels, the money is gone.
Right.
The entire mayor down to whatever, there's a whole bunch of stuff. There was a building that's a couple blocks from our house that was supposed to be built. They scrapped that based on it was fake papers. And it's all the way down the chain, but millions of US dollars are missing. And yet there are kids that don't have this or that and these other programs and extra funds for the elderly. It's kind of crazy. But it does, to be fair, it's just not here. It's just a little bit
Right.
more
And-
obvious
and-
because the
yeah.
country is poor. So you got bad roads, and people are shocked about that because they're like, oh, well, there are no programs there, which technically there's not. There is, and there could be more. And there could be more, like somebody said, there should be money invested in the schools and better chairs and funding, all of this stuff. And they could if they would cut down on the corruption. That is true.
Right.
There'd be a lot more
So
going on.
that's another thing. For example, I'm giving you guys
That's why other
concrete
countries in
examples
Asia are getting
here
ahead.
because we're talking about the Philippines.
Yeah.
So, for example, another thing. Each barangay is usually allotted about an average of three vehicles. Three vehicles, and those three vehicles are designed to be medical transports. I mean, I know it's that they say ambulance, but they're really not ambulance. They're really not equipped to, if they take you to barangay, they're not. You're lucky if they have like anything to save you. Um, but what I'm saying is, you're lucky if they even have a first aid kit in one of these ambulance. You know what I'm saying?
They can
But
barely get old Mark Thornton in there.
they can barely have any gas on them. Because first off, I'm gonna let you know right now. Whenever somebody says we're gonna take you to the barangay ambulance, make sure you set aside some money to pay
the
for gas. I'm not joking.
You might even have to stop for
That
gas.
is not a joke. Okay, but
Depending on the area.
that's the point I'm trying to right.
You think we're
That's the point I'm trying
exaggerating.
to make. Is
Never be,
technically
don't be so shocked. Just be surprised.
correct. Technically, you're not even supposed to front money for the barangay.
Let me tell you.
As far as gas is concerned.
Yeah. So let me tell you about shock. Like, we came here and they were so hardcore about the pandemic requirements. We came at the height of the pandemic when everything was laid on as separate hotel rooms. Hotels couldn't leave, had to spend 10 days locked in the house when we got out of there. Like, they were trying to be hardcore about all the requirements and documents, all that. We get in. We weren't shocked that they didn't ask for hardly anything when we came in. They didn't really go through our bags. They didn't. So they kind of was almost the opposite. So I was a little shocked. Where I was shocked is we had to pay quite a bit for a private van to take us to the hotel, which I felt we got gouged for. And because it was mostly foreigners coming in. So they were setting high prices for those vans. And what would we pay? 5,000 or something to get in that van to take us less than 2 miles?
That was dumb.
It was insane. We paid $100 to go from Clark, literally, to not even mid.
Yeah, and the guy looked at us like we were ungrateful. He wanted more money or something.
It's so at that point, the guy offered to stop at Jollibee's, which we were not supposed to because we were incoming, possibly with the pandemic flu. And I was just shocked. Talk about shocked. I was like, he's going to stop by Jollibee? I thought we weren't allowed to do this. Filipinos will pretty much make whatever rules they got to do. It's kind of, for me, not shocking anymore when they want something extreme at one area. Like, you may go do your immigration in Cebu and they want 1,000,000 documents. You may be here in Angel City and the next person totally just running the place like it's their own situation. So you never, once you leave your country, just don't be shocked. Be shocked, but don't be shocked. You trying to get donuts or chicken today? You want chicken instead of donuts? How about both? Chicken.
Donuts and cock. That's a real thing, by the way.
By the way,
there was actually.
I want to let you know that they're hiring at the chicken plant here locally at $9.50 US. So you can make yourself, let's see, 10 times 50, 500 pesos an hour. They said if you got experience handling small cocks. If you can handle those chickens and take care of them at the plant, you're in. So 500 pesos an hour. You need job? Buy your own goddamn chicken and donuts. What you talking about? That was funny. So, no, portion sizes in the restaurants here sucks. Yeah, I've heard that a lot lately because you'll get the Americans or other foreigners that open restaurants, and the first thing they'll say is, "We do better portions. We don't need a lot." Oh, thank you, Radar.
Thank you so much, Radar.
I'm going to build a bridge. Hold on.
Right.
Let me check out the time.
There
I want
it
to
is.
come back to on the portions 10:07.
Thank you for the bridge funding. Appreciate it.
Probably for gas money while you're kidding. George goes over to the family house all the time and does things and he visits all the time. He needs it for gas. Gas is US prices. That's another thing. Be shocked. Gas prices here in the Philippines are the same just about US. So where is it at right
Just
now?
about, just about.
58 pesos and it's 3.78 per liter. So you're paying $4, $5, $6 a gallon for gas
Yeah.
here. So go figure. You're only making $20 a day here if you have a good job here and you're in the percenter club, and it will cost you that much for a couple
Yeah.
gallons of
And
gas.
unless you live in the province, again,
Thank you, Radar.
remember that you'll spend more gas here only because of the traffic.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to go back to the comments.
Robert Goodsman says, George is trying to get some McLovin.
McLovin. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba, I'm loving it. No, he's trying to avoid getting tuna noodle for dinner. Oh, wait a minute, that didn't sound right. That's what you're going to get. I was going to crack open a can of tuna. Yeah, I just walked into that one. No pizza?
Pizza?
Let's see.
Credit cards keep you walking in the U.S. Cash talks and walks in the Philippines. That's what A Coconut Guy says, and that's true. Okay, here's a good example. For instance, I was getting Heidi's medication, right? And I used the bank card. Denied, denied, and I'm like, dang. All right, I paid cash, right? And me and Heidi, that same day, we went to the bank, literally right after I came from the pharmacy. And then I was like, could you please check my card and to see if it's blocked or something? And the lady swiped it and says, no, your card is fine, sir. And point I was trying to make is literally on the same day. What if me and Heidi went out to eat, no cash, and
We
I
always have
swiped
to
that
take
card
cash.
and got denied? Because remember, it's not necessarily your card that's blocked. It could be them, aka their card readers malfunctioning or something like that, and you're screwed. And guess what? It happens a lot.
It does.
It does. It like me and Heidi have been to the mall and it gets denied. It's not because there's something wrong with our card. It's because sometimes there's something wrong with their system. And once there's something wrong with their system, what are you gonna do? Especially if you're alone. I mean, let's say you have your girlfriend. What are you gonna do? Or boyfriend? You're gonna leave them there as collateral until you go to an ATM.
Speaking of
If
which,
there's anything,
not only was that story we talked about of the Filipinos, we just seen on Facebook a few days ago, they said the same thing happened in China with the family. They said there were like 23 people in that party where the
Okay.
person got stuck with the bill.
Yeah, Heidi's talking about where
The
you know
Filipino
you
and
go
expat
out
got
and
sued.
have a date, and then all of a sudden your date has like 15 or 10 plus ones. You know what I'm saying? And then you're stuck with the bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, but point being, me and Heidi always say, make sure you have cash. Whether make sure, um, at least a couple grand minimal. Okay, at least 500 pesos if you're driving. Because that could save your life as far as slipping into to somebody in that right moment in time. But anyway, that's
Did you
separate.
say slipping into somebody?
Slipping it and yeah, something like that. I'm trying to be very, But anyway, make sure you have cash. Seriously, guys, make sure you have cash. What I'm saying is, don't go out to dinner. Calculate in your head how much that dinner is going to cost you, and then set that aside and put it in your wallet. Trust me, it will save your life in the Philippines because you never know. Um, that's another thing. Brownouts here occur on a lot, and a lot of places don't have generators. So let's say you went out to eat, and then you know, the power went out. No, that food isn't free. You still have to pay for it.
Mm-hmm. 1 second. Yeah, I think that might be him. 1 second.
What?
So let me see if that's. I was just telling him that we just got a message. I think there's a delivery. Are they here already? Not yet. Okay. So they're on their way. So deliveries don't stop.
Yeah. Oh, that's another thing.
Oh, wait a minute.
Huh?
When did that happen? God damn, Willie. Go check. They said they came in the gate and they left it on top of the e-trike. So that's weird. Our dog didn't even bark. Thanks, Willie.
Well, there you go.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha. Okay, that was weird. That's okay. Let me tell you what I seen this morning. Don't be surprised. Hey, George, the don't be surprised situation. I'm gonna show George what I seen this morning. Goddamn cat. Let me show you what's going on this morning. So while George was sleeping, look at this. Hold on.
What am I looking at?
I did. Let's see if it'll focus.
Yeah, I mean, if I can barely see it, then obviously the people can't see it either. I know what I'm looking at, but it's very blurry.
All right, well, give me a minute. It's working. It's because if I open the door, it would run. That is a rat eating out of the dog's food
Oh,
bowl.
I'm
And
not
he
surprised.
is so fat because he's been out there
Not
eating the
surprised.
dog and cat food. But the cats are all around him. Nobody's chasing him. They're both eating from the same
Why would
bowl.
they? They're about the same size.
That black spot is not a kitten. It's an actual rat. Oh, there he is. See him right there?
Yeah,
Look at the size of that fat boy.
it's the size of a kitten. Yeah.
Yeah, so there he goes. Okay. But there were several cats around him and they didn't do anything. So the rats are really good size here. We had them at the other place. And yeah, but I'm surprised those street cats aren't doing something. But
They're
we're feeding
not.
the street cats. So
Okay.
don't
The
don't
the
be
cats
shy.
will mangle a mouse or a rat that's of smaller stature. But the moment that rat is about 7 inches long, they're gonna leave it alone. They know better.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of insane. So
Yeah. But like I told Heidi, is the thing is they're eating the rats. Okay, I'm not telling you to feed the rats, although we kind of unintentionally do it. I say unintentionally because we feed the cats and our dog outside. Um, the problem is if you don't have outside pets. I told Heidi, I said it's a good thing that we feed the cats and the dog outside, because if not, and then the rat would go inside our car
and chew the
or in the
wires.
e-trike and chew out the wires, and this is a real thing.
George does that when he doesn't get chicken
Right. So I'm actually kind of like, okay,
or cherry fritter.
at least it's eating the food and not destroying property. You know what I'm
George,
saying?
that's what happens. You chew on the wires when you don't get
Right.
chicken or cherry fritter.
Right. So I'm not saying to feed the rats or anything like that. I'm just letting you know that, and again, we're not feeding it either, not intentionally anyway. But I'm kind of glad that it has something to eat versus destroying our property. You know what I'm saying? So
I bet there are a bunch of guys in the Philippines that wish they spent money on protection. Yeah, probably. South Korea has suspended their billions of loans to the Philippines, citing too much corruption. Well, the U.S. is going to have issues with the Koreans because of what happened at that plant. They just got them over there to start building and bring Hyundai and all that over there, and then they did those raids. That's not going to help. But
Well, okay.
Trump announced a bunch of them to come over and start businesses. They
Yeah,
just
because of
started
that, they're
in
not gonna do
hundreds.
it.
No, Korea's made statements. So there's
They're
so
not gonna
much
do it.
going on, but I would agree that a lot has been canceled. But I'm still trying to figure out why the Philippines has so many problems more than a lot of the Asian countries. It just seems to be like deep here, like knee deep. Or would you
Mm,
say the same corruption's everywhere?
okay. You have to. Okay. You have to. Everything has plus and minuses. What I'm saying is, I'd rather live here than living in Korea or living in China.
I like to live in China.
That's what you say. Go ahead. Go move over there. I dare you.
What?
My friends are from China.
Yeah, well,
The only one
maybe
that
Japan.
the only one that lives there is the one that married one.
I could go to Japan and be a sumo wrestler.
Okay, don't get me wrong. China has wonderful infrastructure. It's very organized. Yada yada yada. But
Thank you.
everything has faults. No society is perfect.
Yeah, I mean that's true. Only in the Philippines.
Watching
Philippines.
from Europe. We're in Europe.
Where?
Globissimo black man.
I missed that. Where was that at? Are you at the
That-
bottom reading?
That's what you put up.
Oh, sorry. It's been up there the whole time. Hey, I'm still, I mean, I'm on my second cup of coffee, got chicken on the brain and donuts.
Luca says, "Oh my God, my size rats." Yeah, no, I mean the rats here.
I took
Okay,
a film of that this morning because I wake up first and I was just sitting there and I was like, that's the first time I've seen him. Now, I said I've been seeing the turd droppings, and so no surprise.
and Heidi hasn't even seen the big ones.
No, and no, I haven't.
I'm
But
not-
this is the ones you keep seeing and where people are cooking them or doing things, or the field ones that they eat. And it's not even a joke on there. And I look down and I'm like, good, all the dog food is missing because Willie tends to, I put his food out in the morning and he stretches it out till the cats will steal it or the ants get it. And I'm like, shit, man, start eating that because it's wasting the food because he won't eat it after the ants are in there. And then we got to flood out the ants and we end up waste the food. We've done the water around them and the cinnamon around the bowl to keep the ants. They still get in. They build a bridge and they do all this. But this sucker, I looked down and there he was. He was just going to town and all the cats around him doing nothing. I was like, holy shit.
Now, a lot of Americans never believe me whenever I say shit like this because I get it. You don't believe it because you've never seen it with your own two eyes. First off, before Heidi went here, I even told Heidi it gets up to 109 degrees in the Philippines. Just so you know.
Which that's our next.
Heidi didn't believe me.
That's the next
Right.
big shock.
I say a lot of weird things that most people do not believe up until they live here. The Philippines has giant rats. They're literally rats the size of cats. And I'm not exaggerating. Go Google it. I mean, Google's not very accurate. But I know for a fact giant rats exist here because I've seen them several times in my lifetime. And I'm talking about like big ass rats. The size of our cats. Bigger than Geo, actually. So do they exist here? Yes. Yes, they do. We have spiders here the size of my hand. Not exaggerating. Fact. We have boas that literally eat people whole. Fact. We have crocs here, like giant crocs, really, really big crocs. Fact. What's that?
That's a rat running across in the Manila airport. See the size of that sucker?
Oh,
I know
that's
it's kind
small. That's tiny. That's not
there
even
they
that
are
big.
up on the electrical.
Yeah.
This is inside the airport, so don't say because you guys have a dirty house, that's why they're outside.
Yeah.
No, look at this sucker inside up on the So
Yeah.
that's a little guy, by the
Yeah.
way. But to me, it's normal, and don't be shocked. In America, if they were running in the airport, the people would just fall over and stuff. But no, they're
No. You want to see a foot long centipede here? No, we have them. Or you have giant centipedes here. Again, I'm not exaggerating. I mean, again, Google's not trustworthy, but guess what? If you Google it, it'll show up right away. And one of the locations giant centipedes exist is the Philippines. Yeah, rats, centipedes. I mean, they're not pests, but flying foxes are here. Flying foxes are giant bats the size of people. Not joking again. Point being, don't be surprised of
and you could
the
wake up
fauna
like
here.
this. It doesn't matter where you're at. You could wake up and find that many in your trash.
Yeah, no, and this is normal.
And New York, same with New York. New York's got a lot of them too. They got like dogs they send out, and people do a walk club, and they actually have the dogs hunt down. They actually do the hunting of the.
No, I get it. Like, if you don't like rats, cats not the okay. Cats will get rid of something small. They will not get rid of something bigger. Once they hit around 5 to 6 inches, they're not gonna mess with it. But if you really don't want rats in the Philippines, get like a hunting dog, like a beagle or something like that. They will hunt them down and destroy them. Fact. However, you can't garden though, because a beagle will destroy your garden because they will dig like heck. But anyway, point being is cats are not the solution. I mean, I love cats and I love dogs, but
They're too friendly.
as far as rats are concerned, cats are not the solution. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Yeah. So back to the weather thing. That will definitely bring a shock to you. I think people are shocked not only by the heat, like I am, but the raining all the time. I guess they
Oh
don't
my
think about the
gosh,
amount of
Filipinos are sick and
rain,
tired of the rain right now. Trust
the
me.
flooding, the raining, the
It's been
heat,
raining
the
nonstop.
humidity. That's one thing. I think it's everything being moist all the time and wet.
Moist.
Until we bought the
Wet.
dehumidifier a few months ago, it was always, we had the air on, but I told George it's always sticky in the house. And I never thought about
Humid.
getting one. It's sticky,
Humid.
sticky,
Humid.
sticky.
Humid.
No more cherry fritter.
Huh?
No chicken. Human. Cherry fritter.
No, I'm not. I got you. I got it. We're the first.
So you're not even going to agree. You're just going to go silent. Hey, see how George does. George, the ice cream man's outside.
Yeah. Huh.
The Tahoe guy's outside.
Uh-huh.
The gin man is out there. Shot, 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 shots. Everybody. See, that's what I get. I no longer just get an argument. He just goes silent. Dang, man, no fight today. Hmm. Yeah, it was funny going
Like it
full
says,
force.
they say if you don't see rats, that means there are snakes. This is actually a fact. Yes.
Yeah, that is true. Time to buy more gold. We ain't got no gold money. I just got George. Um, Cards get denied. It's time to get in the kitchen and start washing those dishes, right? Cash is queen.
No
Yep, two
cash. You need
snaps.
cash.
Yeah.
You always need cash.
The Philippines just got down to 56. Yeah, so have extra. Yeah, it's drops. And it can. What was it when we first came into the Philippines 4 years ago? It wasn't in 56. I always said it was in the low 40s, but you keep saying it was never that low.
Huh?
Where was the exchange rate when we entered the Philippines?
It was at 38.
All right, so it was near 40. Okay, maybe, yeah. So it can go low, guys. So yes, you have to, like with our rent being 10,000 right now with the exchange, give or take, it's not 200, but it's it could be 180, 190. It could go over 200 depending on the exchange. So that's another thing that could be shocking for people is the exchange rate. So yeah, that kind of makes sense. That's another thing that you don't you're not used to there being a sliding scale based on your currency for your country. So people if it goes way up and they're given extra, then there's a shocking moment. But when it drops, our rent can go up to $230 versus 190 that we're paying now, or 180. So that becomes a difference in, the payments for stuff.
Yeah. Harry Walsh says only 109 degrees. I thought it would go higher, much higher there. It
Mhm.
does occasionally, but I only said that like that's my blanket statement. Like, oh, it goes up to 109.
Hi,
But
Ronald.
like I said, a lot of people don't believe me when I was in the U.S. when I say these kind of things.
Hey, Ronald. Good
Hey, Ronald
morning.
Higgins. Oh, Holland. Sorry, Holland.
I think it's
Um,
on the brain.
hello, George
Thank
and Heidi. Sorry to
you.
hear about your dad, George. Oh, thank you so much, Roland. I appreciate you
Thank
so much.
you
Thank you so
so
much.
much.
Yeah, appreciate you. Yeah. Yeah. For those of you who missed it, I know some of you were asking. Um, and I said it wrong the other live. He passed on Sunday morning at 1 a.m. 1:10 a.m. And I keep saying Saturday because to me it was Saturday because I haven't slept yet because I was literally
Been going through the
sitting on
ringer.
sitting on my phone because I because he wasn't doing good. So to me, it was Saturday. So no, I misspoke. It happened on Sunday morning at 1:10 a.m.
Yeah, you've
And
been going
yeah, for those
through
of
it.
you who are wondering when it happened, yeah. And
It's
he's been
not
sick
easy.
for a while, and but I just never told anybody, not even Heidi.
He doesn't tell me nothing.
Yeah, and Heidi thought it was about my uncle, but it's not.
I thought they
Yeah,
were coming home and you were just holding that they were going through a bunch of difficulties with other things and making that decision because of what's going on in the U.S. with immigration and the brown white thing and all that. I just thought it was dealing with that, but I don't dare push you because you like to bite people's heads
no,
off.
my dad was hospitalized, and then they released him, and we thought we had more time with him, but apparently not. So
I always carry small bills, 20s, 50s, 100
yes,
notes,
you
strike
must
suit.
always do it
Yeah.
because they never have change.
And it's not always to get that change because a lot of times you take it out of the machine. You go like we did. We used to spend 1,000 at a time at even the like we made sure that if we went up on MacArthur Highway and got items at some of those stores, we would buy 1,000 because sometimes in the mornings they didn't even have change.
Yeah, I've been to the pharmacy and give them like thousands, and they refuse me service because they don't have change. And I'm talking about a big name pharmacy.
Yeah. So until they get change, even inside the stores, they don't go to the
Yeah.
banks to get change and bring them in for the most part until they build it up. So that's a good thing now is just when we go to the bank now, we just get a lot of extra. But even then, sometimes we burn through that. So, hey, good morning, Victoria.
Morning, Victoria.
Thank you. And we'll check that, Ronald, later. Thank you so much. No, that I have not seen him till now over here.
Yeah,
That's the
right. New
have
York
you
size rats. Yeah.
have you actually seen any of them since you've been here?
You talking about
We've
the
been
giant rats?
Yeah, in this
I
location.
haven't. No.
We did it the other one all the time, but it
No.
was just shocking that he was out in broad daylight with all the cats with him.
You're talking about like
Hitler
rats
was next to him this morning.
about this big. Yes, here, but not the giant
George
rats.
Hitler, the
No.
nasty cat that likes to fight
Yeah.
everybody, was just standing there with him, and I'm like, "Damn you,
Yeah,
Hitler!"
they know better
Because he's got a little
not to mess with
mustache
them.
and
Yeah.
black hair and everything, and he
And
doesn't.
trust me, there are giant rats, and I've seen them with my own two eyes several times. Just not recently. No.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Okay, now those are called field rats. They do serve them, yes. But those are the field rats. They eat, they're vegetarians, that kind of stuff. They're not sewer rats. They're clean.
Would you eat it? Don't be shocked in the Philippines.
Yeah, because they have nowhere to go. They have nothing to eat.
But you would eat them?
Yeah, they no, they all they do is it's a common thing. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I have a white small Jack Russell called Rosie. She kills the
Yes,
rats. Yeah.
Dogs are more trustworthy in getting rid of rats more than cats.
Willie didn't do shit out there. They just both stared at that bitch
He's the wrong
right
kind.
out of the.
He's the wrong kind of dog.
Today, Willie, I was taking the trash out, and there was our neighbor went by with one of his dogs, and Willie waits because we let him out. He runs up and down the street because there was little no traffic this morning, and he went up and down. But he came, and I said, "Oh shit!" I said, "Oh, he behaves himself." Because people do get freaked out when there's a loose dog and everything. But he knew it was our dog. But I said, "Don't worry, Willie doesn't bite nobody." I said, "He's got his rabies shot." And I said, "Don't worry." And he started laughing. But yeah, he took his run this morning, but he didn't do nothing. Willie snuggles with the cats and yeah. Oh, Robert says I haven't seen the big ones yet. Yeah. Second Wind says he don't believe you.
Yeah, that's with a lull though.
Yeah. Rodents. Boutique.
Huh?
Boot. Butt. Icky.
No, that's your gecko.
Oh yeah, because the turds are really big.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they literally shit where they
Geckos here
eat.
make noises, unlike in the U.S.
But then again, you do that when you have a lot of gin. You
Right.
shit where you eat.
All right. Geckos here go.
Yeah, they're really loud.
Yeah.
Sarah's like, it rained in Florida for 3 months, thunders and lightning. Forget about it, right?
Forget about it.
Right? I like that cartoon. Forget about it. Here in the Yorkshire, England, when I was younger, we had a farm in the Dales where I would get paid 50 pence per rat. Wow, from the local council. Wow, that would have been awesome.
50
Especially back
pence.
then.
That's
yeah.
not a lot.
That's about a half a dollar back then.
I know,
But
but
yeah.
it's still not a lot considering all the trouble you have to go
Yeah, but
through.
here's the thing. If I'd have got a quarter for taking out old ladies' trashes, I used to go around the apartment complex and I used to knock on people's doors. Would you like me to go pick up some bread and milk? I used to get my hustle
Now
on
here's
back
the
in the day.
thing, and this
And
is
when they gave me 25 cents, I used to fall over dead. I'd go buy me some now and laters.
now the problem with this, and
George, you don't know about that.
right, the problem with
Now and
this
laters and Cisco.
is this happens all the time, and I'm pretty sure this happened a lot during that time. Bad boy, hey bad boy. Whenever you have a reward system set for killing pests, people breed the pests so they can make money.
That is true.
So if you have rats, and guess what, they multiply really fast. You breed them, you get them, you feed them, you get them big, then you kill them, and then you bring them to the council. It's actually a very common thing. Anyway,
Yeah. God bless you, George. I know how you feel, bro. My dad passed away on the 26th.
oh wow,
Yeah,
that's recent. Sorry to hear about
Yeah.
that, bad boy.
Never easy when a
Yeah,
parent
sorry to
is
hear about that.
lost.
And thank you again. Thank you.
Sad when a store does not have change equivalent to round 17. Yeah, and it does happen. That
No,
was
it does happen. Yes.
Girl, what are you doing? She's gonna knock your Pop Tart over. Show me your Pop Tart. George got a new Pop Tart. We got the toast. But who's that supposed to represent? Because that brown bread is you and that's me as the white bread. Who's the Pop Tart?
Megan.
No, it's not Megan. She's gonna knock it over. We'll make it Sarah. That's you, Sarah, the Pop Tart with a bite out of it. It's supposed to be a Pop Tart. What you doing? I'm gonna take a bite out of you later.
Right.
Field rice tastes like chicken.
Actually, they kind of do.
Yeah.
Yes, sad day in the U.S.
Yeah, a lot going on for sure.
No, there's a lot of things
guys.
going on.
Let's see, is there something else besides the traffic, the intense heat, the poverty? How about the last thing we'll cover real quick to wrap this up?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so
Oh,
since
boy,
you
wait.
mentioned traffic, there's a trend going on here. I don't know what the heck or
The
where it
TikTokers
come from.
jumping on top of the
No, the
trucks?
kids with the knives.
I told you. I told your ass. They will stand there like this at your tires with whatever if you don't give them money and shit, or they do it to you on the street. Yeah. I'm going to forget I'm Christian when that shit happens. Forget that. I'm going to jail. Now that's when, I'm sorry.
And then what are you gonna do? It's a kid.
Pick them up by the nape of their neck and drag them. right on the other side of the street. I get that. Hose them.
I mean, seriously. I mean, if you're in a car, they can't hurt you, but they can key your car. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
now they actually they actually stand there with knives
And
and
then if
stuff
you're on
and
a
threaten you.
motorcycle, which most Filipinos are,
I'm sorry. There's a time for reacting and not reacting. If I was a Filipino, I could not be that passive if a
if I
kid's
were the
stabbing
government,
at
I
your
would do
tire.
something about it.
But they're not. They're not, babe. They
I know
know they're
that.
out there. That's the crazy
I would
part.
send cops over, and then they would have the authority to.
And if he punched your tire already, you're just gonna leave your bike right there and go try to get somebody to remove the kid versus snatching him and taking him off the
Seriously.
road, right? It's really hard at that point. That's kind of yeah, more kids with knives at the intersections. Yeah.
Now, personally, I've never seen this.
Sarah said she knew that was
Not
that's
personally,
you, Sarah, the Pop Tart. You're the
but
tart. You're the tart, Sarah.
I see a lot on social media, and I believe it.
Oh, Sarah said she knows that's her because it's not all there. Because Sarah's the not all there tart. George likes cherry fritters and tarts, Sarah. I'm gonna send George over to you. Yeah. And George the other white meat. Sarah. White girl blues got a bite out of me. No, them dang pesky kids. Call that barangay, George. Well, how about the time where it doesn't shock you that kids are stomping on top of your car or sitting on top of your trike? Or like Bud Brown showed the other day, they left the camera on the inside when they went inside of the restaurant. He left it on and people would come and sit inside of his trike and they'll just sit there.
Oh yeah, okay. Now
So
this is
don't
the
be
thing.
shocked. Yeah, it's
If you own a Jeep, a jeepney. I mean, not a jeepney, but a Jeep. A Jeep. For example, you own a Jeep Wrangler that doesn't have doors.
no, no,
Don't
no,
be
sweetie.
surprised if people sit inside your car. In
No,
fact,
sweetie.
let's say you're eating at McDonald's and sitting in a booth. Don't be shocked if people sit next to you in your booth without asking.
Now that kind of freaked me out in the beginning. I'm gonna tell George, what did I say about that the first time I went to the mall? I said, did those people really just sit down at our table and bring their food and their full conversation where I couldn't even hear myself? George goes, yeah, they actually did.
No, that's a normal thing here.
And during
So
COVID, I really
don't
was
flip
freaking out.
out if you're sitting at McDonald's in your booth, eating, minding your own business, eating your Big Mac or whatever, and then next thing you know, Filipinos just sit right next to you without even asking.
Yeah, it was
It's a normal thing.
It was extremely weird. So yeah.
No, it's unnerving.
Oh,
Even for
wow.
me, it is unnerving. Yes.
Oh, it looks like Victoria got diarrhea when she ate Pop Tarts. I just called her out.
Oh, is that what that is?
Well, I imagine. So, no, it could be that. Here's the thing Pop Tarts back in the 80s seemed to have real fruit and they seem to have more flavor. Now, I just think they take the same goo and add color to it. I don't think they all have individual flavors, except for the cinnamon. But yes, some people did, have reactions to it.
Actually, if I'm not mistaken, the first Pop Tarts had the same goo, just different colors, but it tasted all the same. The first ones, I believe.
The original one back
Yeah.
in the day, though, were really good. George showed he has a great sense of humor today, and Heidi missed both lines. Okay. I notice only George cracking up. Eh, sometimes you get it and sometimes you don't.
Oh, who's
Oh,
this?
is that Cookie?
Megan? No, this is Megan.
Oh, it's hard to say because her tails, that's the 8-month-old kitten. She's getting bigger, isn't she? She's
This is
growing like
Gio's
every
sister.
day. Yeah.
That's Gio's sister.
Yeah, it's kind of. Wait, are the empty tables or is it? Oh,
Not necessarily. They don't have to be all full.
No, this isn't because they're out of room. Sometimes
Mm-mm.
they just do it.
They just do it. Yeah.
It's kind of.
So it can be any restaurant, anywhere. If Filipinos sitting next to you, don't be surprised. Don't be alarmed. It is a normal thing.
Oh, it says here that normal for Filipinos to ask you all the time how much you pay for that,
Yes, that is
or where
normal.
you get it. Yeah.
No, like I said, for example, whenever a Filipino asks you something or says something, don't take it personally. It's our culture. For example, is I know where you live. Where do you live? How much did you pay for that? Where did you get that? These are very common, normal questions. Do not take offense. It's not about you. Okay? It's that simple. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Yeah.
No, they ask me. I get asked all the time, "Where do you live?" Like almost every time I go out without Heidi.
That's usually in Europe. Made some friends from England and Italy. That way they smiled and sat at our table.
Yeah,
Well,
see,
that would
that's the
be a
thing. I
little,
believe it's only the U.S. that they don't do that.
yeah, right. But I don't think they're always trying to just make friends either.
No,
Sometimes
no,
they
no, no,
just
no.
do
But what I'm saying is,
it.
I think only the U.S. has that. It's my table. Leave me alone.
Well, that's another thing. We'll wrap this up by saying that family and Filipinos and family being around all the time, or gatherings, or karaokeing, or drinking together, or street drinking is very common here. And I think it shocks like us asshole Americans that are so, withdrawn or bougie, or other Europeans that aren't quite as open when they come here. I think that one of the biggest shocks, and you'll hear from other platforms that they'll say that the Filipinos are so friendly, but also expect that there's always going to be family around, always gatherings, always people just walking in your door, possibly if you don't lock it. Like situations from other family members that, oh, my family knocks on my door in the US. They even say they're coming over first. But here, you could just have five people show up, and if you're in the bathroom with the door wide open, you're liable to get a surprise. So you get used to it
Well,
after
if
a
the
while.
door, okay, see, that's the thing. If the door is open and you know the people, it's normal.
Yeah. So you're going to get where there is family always around, always something going on, or
But then again, I guess in the U.S. they do that too.
mm, depends on the family. But no, most of them will not.
I
Even
mean,
if
I
it's a
mean, I
family
mean, what?
member, they'll tend to, out of a privacy thing, boundaries. I hate to say it, boundary issues are a big problem here in the Philippines.
No wonder
Sorry.
I always fall right in. You know,
Boundary issues are a problem here in the
I just walk
Philippines.
into American households
And
with
if
doors
people
open, and I
that
just
are
fall right
living
in.
here or here will disagree, then I call it bullshit. Because if you're here long enough, the boundaries go in multiple ways, but it's there. And I don't know. I mean, some people say it's a bad thing. I just think it's a sense of being naive or innocent,
Oh,
or
Laura, you have no clue. I noticed
so.
that Filipinos get here real close in stores. Okay. Now I tell Heidi, you sometimes she says, "Oh, I want to go with you. I
No,
want
they're
to go
right
with
on
you."
top of
I
you.
told Heidi, "You don't want to go
Yeah, see,
because
he already knows if it's too hot, the
going
chairs are too
to
small, or the place has got a bunch of people. Like if he goes to a family gathering or something, and there's a ton of people that are going to be there, and there's little to no room for sitting, and it's standing the whole time, then he's like, yeah, there's no way Heidi
well,
will go.
forget that. I'm talking about like going to the market is a contact sport.
Oh yeah, hell no.
I'm not joking. We're talking about shoulder to shoulder on
They do that even if the market isn't
on,
packed.
on a
You
regular
guys, you
basis.
Filipinos just want to rub up on somebody. That's how come there's so many pregnancies here.
Exactly.
Which sadly, that's another subject in itself. Um, on the side note, I just read a full article about them handing out condoms and going to basketball courts and trying to prevent all these teen pregnancies. Like literally, the females think it's just a contact sport. They really some. I don't know how you don't know that something fell inside you and that you were just not playing a
I
game.
told you guys I just fall right in.
That's what the girls are saying. They didn't even know that they were having sex.
Um, I can't tell you how many times I get offered condoms. To be honest with you, I just don't take them because I'll be a dead man if Heidi finds those
You a dead
condoms.
man, anyways. They handed them out, but you ain't a using them. But that's it. I can believe it to some extent. I can, but yeah, that's how come there's so many kids. I really do. I just think I don't know. It seems like the Philippines is one big state fair circus slash playground, and we're at
Okay, okay.
summer camp. And I think
Here's
that the rules kind of apply to government, to everything else. When you come to the Philippines, don't be shocked when everything seems like one big party all the time. Island time, party time, everybody's a free bird and no boundaries. That's the best way to describe the Philippines. You're never going to change it. I'm just here for the free rent and to support my man some of the time and feed him chicken and love him, and that's it.
all
That's
right.
how it is, bottom line.
Here's the
Honest
problem
truth.
I have. Okay,
That's all I got
I'm
to
not
say.
naming names or anything.
Oh,
Okay, I'm not naming names. Uh, so me and Heidi know of this Filipino couple. Okay, mom's unemployed because she's watching the kids. Dad's unemployed. Well, guess what? Every freaking year, a freaking baby pops out of her.
oh my God.
Now you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I don't know. Now, no. Maybe.
And we're like, how is she pregnant again?
So basically, for almost the last 5 years, she's had one baby a year, and they're broke. That's what I mean. I get, like, when I had my kids, I wasn't the richest, but I had a job, and we had a car. I could afford a car seat, couldn't afford a whole lot more. Even got some of my clothes
Yeah, but
from
at
a
least you
garage
have that.
sale when I was getting dresses for.
These
But
people don't have anything.
nothing, not even a pot to piss in, and some of the rooms don't even have running water. And I'm like, how? But I guess
We've seen where they live. We've given them stuff before. We've given them
Hey,
clothes. We've
check
given.
check it out.
What the heck is wrong with you guys?
They're in small, cramped quarters, and all they can do is sweat and sweat some more. I guess maybe a little too much gin. I don't know, but I don't get it.
Yeah, like me and Heidi.
Even George is a Filipino saying that.
Me and Heidi, like we were in the car and we drove past them, and Heidi's like, "No way, no way, she's pregnant again. She's pregnant." I'm like, oh my god, not again.
Yeah.
It's not a joke, guys. I mean, it's one of those. Okay, again, hashtag cancel George. Uh, it's like, what the heck?
Oh,
They know what they're doing. They know they're it's wrong. It's wrong. Why is it wrong? Because they're putting out kids in a bleak future. That's wrong.
That's just wrong.
That's wrong.
But we were young once. Like I said, I get it. But yeah, what are they on their fourth or
Okay,
fifth
there's
kid?
difference between young once and stupid several
Twice,
times.
and then 4 or 5 times. So that's just where it is, guys. And so that is the cross we will die on today.
Right. Okay, what? Okay, I'm not. Okay, now some of you are like, well, I know a lot of people that have 5 kids. Yeah, but usually it's like different partners and they usually have a job. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, how's that better? Well, first off, the reason why it's different partners is because, you fall in love, you think it's going to work out, and then you break up, and then, oh, well, and then you go to the next one, you fall in love, and then you break up, and that's how you get multiple kids from different fathers. But if you're both like unemployed and popping babies over and over, that is just insanity.
And you can still have a good time, man. You can have a real good time, but you're gonna have to put something on that bad boy.
Exactly.
Cover that grasshopper
Nobody's
before
telling you
you
not
enter
to
that
have
cherry fritter.
not to have the boing boing thing, but gosh, wrap it up.
Oh, you're one to talk. Let's not talk.
Put
Let's
on a
not get-
raincoat. When it rains, it pours.
Go ahead. So your raincoats in the neighborhood. What is it again?
What?
Let me see if I can remember.
I
Some
was
boy
about to have some Jello pudding.
Oh hell no! Don't even go there.
I'm going Epson level crap here. Anyway,
All right, guys.
I would like to talk to you
My girl
about
sister
some
is going
Jello
on her
pudding.
7th kid. Yeah.
What?
build up Christmas there. Therefore, songs, decorations, etc. in the Philippines. Yeah,
Yeah, it's definitely Christmas
it's
here.
rough. That's why so many guys go to the Philippines, because the girls just think it fell in, pretty much. All right, guys, on that, we are wrapping this up. Next live stream may be Saturday, maybe George there. Besides that, I think we're going to stick to the Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and try to save the weekends. And if we do, we'll just see, or we'll just do lives, maybe all the way to the end of the year, whenever the hell we feel like it. How about that? Whenever we get up, we do it. Retirement live streams in the Burr months. It's the Burr months. You never know what's going to go
Hit
on.
that like button. Deal with it.
Screw that. Just hit it. Just hit it. Subscribe,
I'd
unsubscribe,
hit that.
resubscribe, comment, and we will see you guys during the next live stream. See you later, Victoria. Thank you, Sarah. Hello to Ted and everybody. And we will talk to you later. Say goodbye.
Oh wait, hold on. Hold
Slow
up.
your roll. Huh?
Slow your roll. We have to talk about art again.
Who
Thank you.
likes to comment?
Thank you so much, Radar. Appreciate you so much.
Radar love.
Thank you for our bridge fund there. And then of course, let's give our
your chicken
our
funds today.
our top people today. Number 1 is Radar.
Hurry up! I gotta take a leak, man.
Okay. And then we have Robert Goodson, and we have Sarah Tyson,
On a water
Second
pill.
Wind,
What the hell?
AI Coconut Guy, and we have Harry Walsh. Well, that's the top. I'm not going to mention
I got
everybody.
that. Right, I know.
Obviously. I'm just
Water
mentioning the
pill
top
kicking
people.
in. Didn't get up this time.
Love you
Take
guys.